Hello everybody. I'll wait a couple of seconds till some people pop into the room. Hello everybody. We're going to do the cat today. Here they come. Hello everyone. Hello Scott. Hello Wade. Hello Al. Hal. Popeye. Hello, hello. John, hello. Some more people are popping in. Just hang on for a second. Hello John. Hi Jane. Well, we got about 12 people. Alright, so we're going to start on this guy. We're going to do the cat today. We'll probably do the raccoon the following week, and we'll see how it goes. So, again, this is the ornament series. We're going to go 1.5 by 1.5 wide, 2 1/4 tall. Alright? I'm sorry, 2.5 tall, 1.5 by 1.5. Hello, April. So, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We have a little white tail. Now, I know I say I don't carve anything really for Halloween, but if you want to make him into a black cat, you certainly can. That's up to you. You know, a lot of these are very similar. They're just carved a little different when you do the raccoon and when you do the mouse. Some things are thinner and smaller. Some things are wider. So it's not real difficult. It's been a while since I've done a cat, so you're going to have to bear with me here. As I try to get through it here. So, yes, glad to have everybody here tonight. And you saw if you looked on my page, you saw there's about 8 different things, which is these guys here. If I can bring these up. We'll probably do the turkey before Thanksgiving. And I have another one that's a hiding turkey, a miniature one like this, with a hat over its head, so we might end up doing that. But we'll see, you know. But there's about 8 different things I can keep us busy, probably up until Christmas, or close to it. On Election Day, I will not be recording anything on Election Day. I'm going to be watching, along with the rest of the world, for Election Day. Please don't comment about politics. I just am telling you that I am not going to be live that evening, because I do this Tuesday evenings, okay? So, alright, let's get started with this. Alright, so the first thing I did was I wanted to, he has his feet, little paws, right, everywhere. So what we want to do is we want to kind of mark off where his feet are. It's about maybe a quarter, maybe, yeah, 3/8 of an inch, a quarter, yeah, 3/8 of an inch up, and then another 3/8 of an inch up, and then where his bottom of his neck is going to be. Then this actually sways upward, okay, or is that straight across? No, it's a little bit upward. So when I look at this, let me find the front here. I'm going to push the camera over just a tiny bit so I can look around it a little easier. Hello everybody that's joining. Hi Betty, I see you're here tonight. Betty from Honeybrook. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to, at the bottom of his neck, we're just going to put a little line. And we're going to put a little line here too for his feet. Make a little block out of that. It doesn't have to be real wide, okay? It doesn't have to be real wide. And this I'm going to just curve it down a little bit. Okay, let me make sure that's right. Okay, good. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the same depth for the feet on the side. And you notice I'm measuring with my, hello Lynn and Dave, and Diana. Okay, I usually put the mark at the top, and I always measure with my finger, and then I just kind of draw it down and around, just like so. Let me see how that's done on the back. Yeah, same way. All right, so we're figuring out where their feet are going right now. His paws. Now, the nice thing about these, you can paint them any way you want. You want to paint it all black with the eyes, that's fine. Hello, Betty. And hello, Harry. Or you can do it either way. You can, hang on just a second here. Okay. You can also, I paint it like an orange cat or a red cat with the white, or you can do gray and the white, like my cat Minnie was gray and white. Or you can do them a solid color, but I think when you have the contrast, it looks much nicer, and it's more, and you can have them looking either way, to the left, to the right, up or down, whichever way you want to go. And his tail, I thought that would be a nice little touch to do his, you know, the tuxedo cat has the paws, but sometimes they also have part of the tail done. So that's where we're going with this. So let's see how long this is going to take me to do this, because like I said, it's been a little bit of time since I've done this. So I mark 3 dots, and then I just kind of, and that kind of keeps everything even, hopefully, when you look at it later on. Okay, so all right. So now I'm going to figure out where his ears are going to go and stuff. And usually his ears, if you look at the top, this is square this way. Okay, it's square. So the tail's on a corner, his mouth is on a corner, but right here we're going to just cut a little bit in to get his ears in. Okay, and his ears are usually with a little point, but it's a little bit rounded at the end here. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of figure out where this goes here. We're going to go up a little bit here. We're going to just go up a little bit. Let's see if that's too much. No, it's fine. Actually, we're going to go all the way around this way. Okay? We're going to bring this down around the other way. Up a little bit. Now, what I usually do is I measure everything with my finger and my pencil. Okay? So, let's see how, of course, the tail is here. So we really don't need to worry about this as much. The tail comes up a little higher. So we'll bring this down for part of the tail. You can measure it also on both sides, so you have the tail kind of even. And a lot of it's just marking it off first. But if you try to do it freehand, well, good luck to you. Some people can. I certainly cannot. I have to draw things on here to do it. So, all right. So the first part we're going to do here is we're going to kind of figure out where the side of his. Let me just take a look at this here. Okay. So this comes down and around to the front. Okay. This comes down and around to the front. And then this comes up. And then this is his eyeball. So we'll worry about that in a bit here. Alright, so let's see how this goes. Get a nice sharp knife. Okay. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the ears out. So the ears are going to come out maybe 1/8 of an inch, and you're going to go straight. You're not going to go this way. You're going to look at it from the front with this at the top, and you're going to point it over to this side, like there's a line going across here. So we're just going to start chopping a little bit out from the front. And you got to do it again here, a little bit more. You don't want to go too crazy here at first, because these corners are going to be your ears for sure as you're rounding things off. So let's go with this one. It's the same thing. We're going to go straight in. Okay. If it doesn't look right the first time, you can always carve another block. You know, there's no right or wrong way of doing this. So I'm going to start rounding the head off a little bit. And we're going to round this off as well, the top of the head. I want to get all this rough stuff off of here. It'll make life a lot easier when we start shaping the head a little bit more. Now he's really, really fat there, but you'll see it in just a second here. Alright, right here where the nose meets, I'm going to go straight in and down, just like so. Alright. A little bit at an angle. If you miss this, we will have it on, I will have it on YouTube later on, so you don't need to worry about missing the live broadcast. I always put it on Facebook about an hour, a couple hours after I work on this. So, okay, I'm going to roll this one out as well. Alright. We're just shaping things up a little bit. We're going to go a little bit deeper here. Not by much, but we're just a little bit more. So we want those ears to stick out. Hello, Jim and Beth. So, like I said, I'll be here next week most likely, but the following week, November the 3rd, I will not have a broadcast that day. Alright, now we're going to do the bottom part here. We're going to cut right in, kind of straight to start with, and just kind of pop that out. I'll be jumping all over the place here because of... oh, you're welcome, Will. I know somebody's asked about the cat for a long time, and I told them, oh, I'll get it done, but I never really got it going here. I thought today would be a good day to do that. So we're going to just go in a little bit here. We're going to do a little V-cut, just like so. Alright. Hi, Jack and Jenny. I just was on a video call with Ann. I hadn't seen her in a while. It was nice to talk face-to-face with her on the phone. It's amazing what we can do today with our cell phones. Really. It's nice. Okay, so we're also going to cut it right here because that's where the head... Let me take a look at this if I'm happy with that. See how that... This is going to come down a little bit further, guys. I'm not happy with that at all. Take that down a little bit, just like so. Okay, good. So then I'm going to do my sides here. A nice big V cut there. Just like so. Okay. So we're starting to shape them out a little bit. This piece of wood's a little better than last week's, I'll tell you. That was tough. I feel for people that don't have good wood to carve with, because that makes such a world of difference. Okay, so I'm going to just do a little bit of each one, and we're going to go up here. Let's see if that tail's long. It's right on the money. Very good. So we're just going to start, and then I'll use my V tool to really, I'm going to chop, that's the back part of his head that I'm working on right now, on top of the tail. Alright. Let me check something here, see if I'm deep enough here. No, not quite. A little bit more. We're just going to go in a little bit more here. I try not to go too far, because then I run into problems. If I... Alright. Now, hello, Ann. Let's see here. Hey, Justin. I didn't see you pop in. All right, so that's the cat so far. What we're going to do here, hang on just a second. I'm going to measure the ears down a little bit, and I'm just going to make one little mark like that so it's even. And we are going to go inward. Just notch it out. Okay, just like so. Same thing over here. This face has to look a little bit round, right? So, okay, we'll worry about that later. All right, now I'm going to take the V tool. La la la, here it is. Nope, that's not it. Here it is. And we're going to take the V tool and we're just going to follow those lines, kind of match them up in the tail here first. You want to just take your time when you use a V tool. You don't want to go real quick with it. Alright, here we go. So, alright, now we got to match these two. This just gives me a reference. You know, it's just easier when you can do it with the V tool. Then, oh, that doesn't look straight. Hang on just a second. Okay. Gotta make this match somewhat for you folks. Can't have it all really crooked here. Like I said, it's always hard to match one side over the other. So what we're going to do here on the back side, let's keep going with the front. I want to get that done. So we're just going to bring this down and around. There we go. Where's the cat? Okay. See how deep that is? It's not really that deep when you look at it. It's not that deep. So I did a little thing there down. So right here, well, I'll show you this in a second. I'm going to round this off just a tiny bit. Okay? I'm just going to round this off a little bit. Alright, just like so. So now you have this flat portion. You've got this portion rounded off. And I'm going to go a little bit deeper here because it is not deep enough. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to go right down the center with a stop cut. And we're going to just kind of slice it out from both sides. Okay, same thing with this one. We're just going to make it a tad deeper. A lot of the things with, hi Dan, a lot of times when you're carving, how deep you make your lines can give it a perception it's deeper than it is. And that's what a lot of relief carving is. It's, you know, the illusion that it's deeper than it truly is. Okay, so we're working around. We're going to do the top of the foot here real quick. Yeah. Well, of course, the most important part to doing this is his eyes. And I find that's true with almost anything. With you're doing Santas or whatever you're working on, doing the eyes is so important. It makes it or breaks it a lot of times. If you have beady little eyes, they don't look cute. You know, if you got a skinny nose, it doesn't look cute. So if you're looking for the cute factor, you want to make sure that you are doing things to make it look that way, to make over-exaggerate the nose, over-exaggerate the eyes, whatever, you know, whatever you can do. Now right here in the back of the cat, we're going to go in a little deeper right here, okay? That's kind of our guide there. We're going to go up, and we're going to come down. All right? We're going to do the other side the same way. So the next, like, this is 1 week, maybe 8 weeks, I'm going to start making some of the DVDs to these eventually. I'll have a little more time when fall gets a little further. I'm still doing some work outside and things like that, so I'm not completely done outside around here. All right, so we're going to go around the head a little bit. And you just go straight in, okay? You don't go this way. But you want to always kind of level it with the corner, the same direction. All right, if you can. That's true whenever you're working from the corner. You're working at a different angle than straight in. And this can be a little deeper again. There we go. And just clean it up a little bit. We're going to round the bottom part of the tail off a little bit. There we go. Now the feet. We're going to do the feet real quick. We'll get to the head here in a second. We're going to take our little V-tool and we're going to just follow that line. And keep my hand out of the way. I do one way first and then I turn it around, I'll go the other way. So I do each side of the foot. Okay, now I'll go the other way here. Now, it's a nice guideline with doing it with a V-tool. Always rest your thumb on it, on your piece. I'm hoping to maybe have an idea of what I'm going to do this fall when I have my shop open. I'm not going to have people in the shop. I'll have my pop-up ready. Time for some hot chocolate. Cool chocolate. All right. Anyway, so I'm still in the process of doing that. I have to go get a large canopy tomorrow from Harbor Freight, so that's where I'll be heading tomorrow. And hopefully this idea will pan out the way I hope it does. See, when I'm cutting this out, I'm going to put my pop-up tent over top. I'm going to put the canopy over and above the pop-up tent, so then when people walk up to it, they're not just standing outside. They'll have a little bit of cover. So it's amazing how we have to adjust things this year. All right, so I'm going to pull this down a little further. The back of their heads are pretty, not flat, but they're, yeah, the V-tools that I'm using, Allison, are, this is one that I've ordered. They're out of China. I can't find them any cheaper than there. And the steel is very good, but they don't come sharpened. I have to sharpen them. So this is a 3.5 milliliter one that I use, and it's very comfortable handle to it. So it is in my store that I have online. If you're interested, I can certainly get one ready for you. I'll post that with my video later where you can find all these things. All right, so let's look at the head. That's coming along okay. All right, so now the part I want to work on and really concentrate right now is the mouth and the other stuff here. So, you know, their face is kind of wide, right? So this was the center here. And if we go up and around, what I usually do is it's the same thing when I do the hard part is making that match. So, like a shepherd's hook, if you think about it that way. You know, you can go up a little higher maybe. But I'm going to measure it here so I have an idea where to go here. This is going to be the tough part, is making this thing match. So I'm going to go up and around, and I'll look at it in a second to see if it's somewhat. So I'm going to measure from the corner, okay. Let me see what is wrong here. This has to come out a little further. Actually, there's not a shepherd's hook. It comes out straight. All right. And this comes out straight. There we go. So what we're going to do, and right here is the middle, and it fans out like an upside down Y. And then from here, we're going to, from the side, we're going to make a nice round. I'm going to measure that from there to here. Oh, not as wide as I thought. Okay. Some people can eye it up better than I can, but, you know, it's... Because the nose actually comes down into this puffy part where his whiskers are. So it doesn't come from the bottom, it goes up a little ways. So that's what I'm trying to create here. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is figure out where that center is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife and I'm just going to poke it in there like this. Alright? And then I'm going to pull it out. And we're going to take the V tool and we're going to go right up against it. Just like so. Okay, see our little, that's where the nose is. See it? And we're going to take this and we're going to go straight down the middle. Very carefully on either side. Just like so. Then I'm going to do the nose portion first. And the eye. So now, sometimes I don't move my hand. I actually move the piece. I didn't know if you saw that. Sometimes I just move the piece and not the hand. So I'll hold my, and I'll move this around. This is only a guide, right? This is not the final thing because we've got a lot to cut out here. So I'm going to come down here and I'm just going to snip that out a little bit. Clean that up. Alright. Same thing over here. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. Alright, hang on just a second. Cooler hot chocolate. Anyway, so now we have that done. Alright, so what we're going to do now, before we do anything else, we're going to follow this line on both sides. So, I'm just going to cut that out. And I'm not going in real deep because I just want to guide, okay, where it's supposed to be. I don't want to do it too deep until I'm ready to do it deeper. And then we'll come out here and we'll do the same thing very lightly. I love these little V-tools. They come in so handy. And this is how we're going to texture the whole thing as well. You know, because it has lots of hair. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to follow this out again. I'm going to go straight up and around, sideways, remember, not into the nose, down, and then we're going to come around this way. Straight in. Okay, we're going straight in. We're not doing it from the side of the block, we're going from an angle. So you always follow your angle. So then you take the tip of the knife and you start chopping out. There we go. Now, of course, that doesn't, you don't always want to pull that out. You just want to go back up there and recut it. That's all. And then I'm going to take care of it there. And right here, it's going to be deeper. All right, so we're going to do a nice triangular cut right down here. So there we go. All right, see, it's popped out. And we're going to follow this all the way around. So that's going to be a little bit flat. That's okay. It's perfectly fine. All right, so that's one side of the face. Now we're going to go over here. We're going to cut this out. I'm going to follow this all the way around. Remember, we're going to follow the corner, the same angle. Now, if your knife is nice and sharp, you should be able to cut in any direction most of the time. Not always, but most of the time. Alright, so I'm going to cut this out first. And you want to be careful you don't run your knife into your nose. You know, try to be very careful when you go around. So right here on this side, I'm going to just trim it down. There you go. There we go. Yes. And right here, we're going to probably trim this out as well. And that can go pretty far. You can dig out a nice chunk there, because that will make that thing pop out a lot better. Alright. Oh, this has to be deeper, not by much, but a little bit more. But I'm trying to look at this and see. Let me pop the camera up just a tad here. Hang on just a second. I don't want everything flying off the desk here. Just give me a little more room. Okay. So a lot of it's recutting and going back and making that snout, whatever you want to call it, where the whiskers are, popping out. Let me take it back here and just clean it up a little bit. It's just a little easier if I can get a little closer to it. Alright. Let me just re-clean this up a little bit more. I'll be right with you. Not always the easiest to do it in front of the camera like that, because I can't always see it really well. So, there's the two eyes. Alright. Now, of course, this needs a lot of cleanup yet. And you don't want to go too much deeper than that. You know, that looks pretty good right there. And this here, you can bring this down a little bit more. Alright. Let me take a look at this. Yeah. Yep. And I'm going to take a little bit off these corners now. And I'm going to just cut behind the ear a little bit. Just going up a little bit. Not a lot. Just a tiny bit. Sold a lot of cats the 1 year. And it's funny because I'll bring a picture of their cat and say, okay, can you make this cat? Well, I'll try to make it the same color, but I can't guarantee anything. But most people were happy with it. You know, all cats have their own personality and look to them, just like dogs do. So it's very hard for an artist to see what you see, you know, in that animal. You know, they may view it a little bit differently, of course, and stuff. So I'm going to come down a little bit more here. We're going to just trim more out of here, like so. Okay. Should have made that maybe a little bit wider, but that's okay. We can bring this down a little bit. All right. So here, behind the ears, we need to do a couple things. We need to round it off a little bit. So what I do is I scoop it out a little bit, like so. Okay. It's not real distinctive, but, you know, just a little bit. At the top here, we're going to have to make a little notch as well. So what we want to do is you just want to take your knife and go in and pop that out a little bit, just like so. Same thing with the other side. I read that, Justin. Cats are amazing. They're just a sweet animal. They really are. They have so much personality. Okay. So, let me just refigure everything here. I'm going to round off the tip of the thing just a very tiny bit. You don't have to do too much. Let me see what I did wrong here. Or did I do anything wrong? Not really. Alright, so we're going to just keep trimming this off a little bit here. Bring this up and around. Trim off the back. Kind of have it like rounded on the back side. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done one of these, so bear with me. You need their ears to stick out a little further. You can always dig it down a little further. It's fine. This one's definitely bigger than the other, so we're just going to cut that off a little bit. Alright, so let me think this one over. Here, okay. Right here in the mouth, we're going to just do like a triangular cut. It's going both sides, you're pushing in, and you're going to just sweep it out so a little mouth pops out, just like so. That's all you need. That's it. Alright, it's not a big deal. I'm sorry, things are popping up on my phone. I don't know how to stop it sometimes. Here, hang on. Alright, I'm going to kind of get this done underneath here. Alright. We're going to trim more off the head here. Just a little bit more. You want to be careful you don't knock those ears off. But it's very hard to break these off because it's going with the grain. Alright. Again, I'm going to cut this off a little more at the top. Okay, we're going to round off that tail anyway. And the back of their heads are kind of flat. Not always, but I mean a little bit rounded. But this is a caricature. Some of this will not be to scale, of course. That's the beauty of doing caricatures. You don't have to make them exactly realistic. Alright, so there's our head. And I'm going to just trim this out a little bit. Alright, to put the eyes in, it's just one big round. This has it coming down a little bit here. So we're just going to make like an oval eye. Nice and big. Just like so. Again, trying to match this. Let me take it back here for a second. See if I can get the same thing. I'm going to have to cut a little more off of there. That's not flat enough for me. Okay. I might like that one a little bit better. A little shorter. Alright. Alright. You can use a V-tool or you can just use a knife on this. I'm going to use a knife. And we're going to come right up here and we're going to just follow that line all the way up. You're going to cut from the inside of the eye. You're going to round that eye up. If it doesn't come out, you go back and you cut it again. Alright, so just like so. Okay. This is going to come down a little bit further. I'm just trim this in a little bit, just like so. And what I usually do, let me see if I did it on this one, a little bit. We're just going to go underneath the eye a little bit and try to round it off. I'm going to follow the eye all the way around. Okay, hang on, I got a mosquito over here. Okay. It's pretty warm today here in PA. So once you get that cut out, you want to go on the top part of the eye, round it up a little bit. And again, cases in Pennsylvania are definitely going up. I heard Lancaster County was pretty bad. We're not far behind them in Chester over here. I'm very close to the Lancaster line. I'm going to trim this off on the bottom a little bit. Okay, so there's the eye. There's the eye, okay? Of course, I'm going to clean all this up because you don't want all these lines sitting there and stuff. So hang on here. It's starting to lean. Hang on. It's starting to come apart. This is the problem when you do things live. You can't really stop and keep going. Hello, Milton. Glad you can join us. Okay, so I'm going to do the other eye as well. And I'm going to come up, around. Oh, that looks a little different. Let me see if I can do the top part. I'm telling you, doing these eyes can be really challenging to make them match. But, you know, they're not always going to match the way you think. So, it's okay. I'm still going to trim some of this down because it's too thick for me. So, you know, and that's the beauty of carving. You see something, you just go ahead and take care of it. You know, if it doesn't suit your liking, you just go ahead and keep cutting. So right here now, this is where the ears are, right? So how I take care of this, hello Carol, how we take care of the ear is a little bit different. Let me see if I can find my little, yeah, here's the little one. I have a larger one too. Let me see if I can find it. Nope, that's not it. Hang on just a second. I didn't think of this ahead of time. Nope, that's not it either. Oh, don't tell me I've got to go through 15 of these to find it here. That's not it. Hang on. I promise I'll be back. Okay. Maybe I can do it with this one. Alright, so the way I do the ear, I'm just going to trim this down a little bit more and take this off a little bit more. I'm going to take this hard stuff off because that's going to show up if you start painting it. It's going to come, well, if you're painting it black, it won't matter as much, but you do want it to, hello Becky, you do want it to match somewhat with the same texture all the way around. So We're getting a lot of foreign people over in Europe watching, which is nice to know. And again, we're going to take all this rough stuff off before we start. So I'm going to start rounding it a little bit everywhere. I'll make this one into a red and white cat. I have a couple of these black and white ones yet, but I'll switch it around a little bit. Alright, now this stuff has to come off of here yet. Now there isn't much of a difference here with the head. Alright, so let me just fuss with it back here. Alright, now we got the eyes in. I'm going to have to work on them a little bit before I paint them. And the way we do the ears are pretty simple. We have a little bit of a, we're going to start digging it out. So what you want to do is take your knife about 1/8 of an inch away from, or 1/16 of an inch away. You want to just dig it in a little bit. And you don't want to pop it out to the other side of the ear. Hang on just a second. No wonder. Okay. Trying to think which ear I did. Okay. So you want to take your little round gouge. You can either take your smallest gouge or you can take a little bit larger. I'm going to try the little larger one. And I'm just going to start scooping this out, just like so. Okay. And you can do it one more time. So what you're doing is you're carving it to the head, all right, towards the head, not away from it, because then you'll be chipping this stuff out. Okay, so that's one ear, all right. We're going to do the other ear. So you're going to take your little tool here. I'll round this off a little bit more. You want to try to get rid of all these sharp edges, square edges that you see. All right. And we're going to, I don't know what is wrong with this camera. It's driving me nuts tonight. Let's see. Okay. This one here, you're going to follow the head right against the head there. And you're going to just go across kind of deep, but you don't want to poke it through the other side. I've done that already, but you just want to do a layer at a time. It's fine. You can do it a couple of times, whatever you're comfortable with. So I'm using my little wider one here. And just staying away from the edge a little bit. Now it didn't come free there, you see that? We'll go back and get that with a knife. These little gouges come in handy for stuff like that. You can do it with a knife, but it's not going to look as nice when you do it. Alright, so there's the ears, the face. Now, of course, this needs to be rounded up a little bit more. This has to come out a little bit more too. Okay, maybe that needs to come down a little bit. There we go. There you go. we smooth it all out. Again, you know, everything is really flat, but that pretty well does the head here. There's a lot of cleanup I have to do, but I'll show you how to put all the lines in. But let's do the feet. The feet needs to be done, or the paws need to be done next. So the first thing you want to do is take your knife and you're going to follow your line that you did with your V-tool. And you're going to come up on both sides. Alright, just like so. And then because we're working on just, let me get the other knife. This comes down around right next to it. Alright, that just gives it a little more depth, what we just did. Okay, and then we're going to round off the paw down. Now the paw is separated down the center. Okay, so what we'll have to do there, oh my goodness gracious, this thing does not want to stay up today. Hang on just a second. There we go. I usually don't have that much problem keeping the camera up to, but for some reason today it's a little different. Alright. So, take your little V-tool, especially doing the front paws. Whoop, that's not the V-tool. You think I would have it just sitting here somewhere, and I did, because I just used it. Hope that's not it either. Hang on. There it is. Too many tools look the same after a while. We're going to go right up the middle, just like so. Separate those feet. Okay. Going to round them up a little bit. You're going to do the same thing with both sides of the paws, the back feet actually. You're just going to cut it out a little bit better. Thanks, Jim. Yeah, I went over and sharpened them before every class, so and that means I just put it on my wheel real quick. And it does help to have a nice piece of wood. That also helps. So I'm going to round this off right here a little bit in the front, just so that paw looks a little bit of a more rounded. Okay, so here I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to round this off. It makes it a pleasure when you have a knife that is super, super sharp. It makes it so much easier in so many ways. I'm going to go a little deeper here. I'm not happy with that neck the way it is. So, you know, I'll be tweaking this for a while. And I'll show you how to put the hair in for this guy. How to put the fur in. Oh goodness, another bug. I don't know, I must have the windows open or something somewhere. Hang on just a second. Let me get that. Okay, not something you should be doing when you're doing live, but hang He's right there. He's a little sucker. All right. I'm distracted by that bug. I'm sorry. Let me do this side as well, real quick. And here too, we're going to just round it to the foot. Put a little triangular cut there. This comes out a little bit more. Make that tail stick out a little bit further. There we go. I'm just rounding things up, folks. Just going around and seeing what needs to be rounded and what needs to be trimmed off. The tail needs to be, the tail is just, we'll take that edge off, right? We'll take that edge off there, and we'll take all this rough stuff off. That's all you have to do to the tail. The tail's not a big deal. It really is not. A lot of people are asking what this is. It's the knife that I use. This is a real older model. It's called a Rough Rider. Now, somebody had asked about it before, and I can't remember what model number. I have to look it up and then let you know, because if you get the wrong one, the blades are going to be too long. Don't get the one that says stock, that has the word stock Dale or stock whatever. It's too long. So just I'll try to get that information out to you. I had some here. I had bought a bunch of them before. They really went up in price. These are made in China. But I'll tell you, the blade is very nice. You have to revamp the blade. You cannot use it right from the box. You'll have to have somebody take care of that for you. Oops, his nose is a little crooked. Okay. All right. Now, let me see what else I have to do. Yeah, a lot more cutting down and rounding up. This, you know, a lot of this stuff just is cleaning it up and reshaping it a little bit more as you're going. Because you notice this side looks different than this side. You're welcome, Lewis. It's amazing how many people and where they're watching from. I have a few people from Europe that's been watching. I have a few people down south, all over, which is really, really nice. I'll tell you, since this pandemic had started, I get so many more requests for friends requests and on Facebook and on YouTube. It really surprised me how many people keep coming back and keep adding to it. Oh, not into the ear. No. There we go. Alright, so that's kind of how the cat's done, folks. I'm going to hurry up and show you how to lay the fur out on it. But you have the most of it is already done here. It's just cleaning it up and getting rid of this stuff on it. I have no idea what time it is. Hang on. We've been at it for an hour. Just give me another 10 minutes and I should be pretty well done with it. Okay. And here too, you want to just get rid of those hard edges. Get rid of all that. So, how the feathering is done, the fur is done, it's not too difficult. When you're looking at this, I usually start from the top of the nose over. Now, it does have two little holes right here for his nostrils. You can put them in either with a knife or a little tool. I don't know if this one's going to be small enough for it. Let me try it back here for a second. Yeah, okay. There's one. And there's two. Okay, where is the knife? Here it is. So you can dig it out more with your knife if you want. That's up to you. It's a little bigger than I like it, but I don't have anything smaller right now to deal with that. But you can do it with a little triangular cut if you want to. That's up to you. Alright, now I don't do anything with this or the bottom part of the nose that we turned pink. But once you paint it, it looks so much different. So when I start doing this, I start going from here, I start going up. And I crisscross a little bit. This, I start from here and I work my way over. And I start working my way down like I'm going at a corner here. And, you know, you can make little deeper ones, little longer ones, whatever you're comfortable with. Alright, and this just keeps coming up. I'm just going to go over this real quick to show you. Alright, and now I go right into the ear there. Alright, I would be doing this a lot finer if I was not in front of the camera, but because we're on a time crunch here. So when you get to the back side here, what you want to do is just go straight down to the neck here. Remember, we made a turn here, so we're still turning. And you want to come straight down here. You can go a little bit at an angle, it's fine. Alright, that's how that one's done. I'm only going to do half the head because of the time-wise, but you get the idea. Then, when you do the ear, alright, when you do the ear, you go ahead and do all this. You kind of mix it all together. You know, just take your time with it. You know, it doesn't help to hurry yourself doing this because then you end up nicking something you don't want to. Now, this comes straight back from the head down to the over, you know. And if this V-tool is sharp enough, you should be able to go in any direction. It will cut a little different, but you should be able to have a clean cut no matter how you do it. Okay, for the ear, you want to be very, very careful with the ear. So it's just little, you notice I'm not putting it real deep there. And I'm kind of just matching it together. And you notice I have it resting on the table, on the desk here. So, okay, so that's how that's done. Alright, so you're going up, right here you're going up and down. And, you know, you can make this look a little crisscross a little bit as well. So then the body is a little different. We're going from, oh, I missed something completely. His two front paws are supposed to stick out. Ah, let's put that in there. I didn't see that. Okay, paw here, paw there, and one in the middle. Okay. Boy, a cat without front legs. See the legs there? I didn't notice that till now. Oh my lord. Okay, so what we're going to do is just take the V-tool and we're going to go right straight up right straight up on this one, and right down the middle. It's pretty simple and quick. There's his paws. It didn't take long. Thank goodness I didn't take off more. I thought it looked a little weird, but it's amazing what you end up finding out what you missed. Not often do I miss something like that, but every so often it does happen. So, and if you have a real fat cat and you can't see his paws when he's sitting, then you don't have to put them on. But most cats, I see a paw or a leg, you know, his front legs. And then we do it, and then we round this off a little bit, right? That's all we do. It's pretty simple, not very difficult at all. I try to put a little triangular cut down there where the feet and them meet. Just makes it look a little nicer. There we go. Hey, I didn't destroy his legs completely, which is good. Oh, jeez. We've all been in the house too long with this craziness going on today. It's going to be a long winter, folks. I really believe it's going to be a long winter. But, alright. So, there's the paws now. Finally put them in. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our little V-tool again. And you notice it's up and down, right? So straight up, straight down. So I try to do a little bit this way, just tiny bits. A little bit in the middle, and then I'll turn it over and do down towards the foot. We're only going to do half of this guy today with the fur. See, I'm already fussing with it. And the same thing with the feet. You just want to go up and kind of bring it down to an angle a little bit. So it looks like it's rounded, right? Like a little rounded paw. Then I mixed it up. Okay, so that's how the one paw is done, how the one leg is done. Okay, the way this works, so it doesn't just go up and down, you want to go from side to side. Let me clean this up a little bit. Take all that hard stuff off, and if I had more time I'd be fussing more with rounding it, but I don't. And you can take your time, you know, for the sake of time. Alright, so what we're doing is we're going at an angle. Maybe I can show you this. This comes out like this and comes down like that. Okay, and then this all comes at a little bit of an angle. Alright, so let's see how we can do this, because you want contrast. You don't want it all going down, because then you won't see that he has legs. Like I didn't see it. But, so, you know, when we do this live, you will see when I make mistakes, and we all do. I mean, it's just one of those things. Yes. And I'm going towards the foot now, to the second paw there, this back paw. Let's see if I can keep this in. Alright, I'm going to clean this up just a tad more. I don't want any of that rough stuff on here, if I can help it. Alright, so See, if I was doing this in segments on YouTube, I usually do 10 minutes, stop, catch up, bring it back, and do another portion, stop, catch up. So it's not quite the same when I don't have it don't have that courtesy. Plus, if I make a mistake, I can't fix it. See, if you forget something, a mistake can be repaired. See, he finally did end up with a couple of legs in the front. Oh, jeez. I thought for sure. Okay, let's bring this back down. We're almost done here, folks, for now. I'll finish them up and get them painted for Christmas. Alright, now, the foot has to be cleaned up a little bit. And alright, now, alright, so we have this going this way. We have this one coming down at an angle, and the foot's just kind of straight down. It's not that difficult, but I do try to make it round to go around this way a little bit, like the shape of the foot. Okay, so that's how it's done, folks. I'm not going to bother doing the other half because it's just a redundant of the same, thing. The tail is straight up and down, okay? You just carve it straight up and down. It's not that difficult to do. You just kind of round it up a little bit, take that hard stuff off, that rough stuff, and just round that tail a little bit, and have fun painting them. They are really a lot of fun to paint, because you can make them look different ways, up or down or sideways. I always like things looking sideways, especially when it comes to the mouse. If you have a mouse and that, and they're looking at each other, I think that looks pretty good. I had like 3 or 4 cats around him one time. It looked pretty good. But so just go up and down with this, and just round it a little bit down here as you're doing it. So that's our cat. I hope you enjoyed doing the cat. I'll finish it up and I'll show you what it looks like later on, possibly. I think next week we'll do, everybody wants the raccoon. We'll do the raccoon next week, okay? Very similar, but it's a little different. It's just a little bit more, it's just different with the sizes and stuff. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this. I will be back next week to do another one, and then on the 3rd I will not be doing any live broadcasts on election night, and then we'll resume the following week. Alright, folks, thanks for joining me here at the Carver's Wood Shop. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.